on here. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to make sure you knew, and you probably already know this, is that anytime you log into your account, whether on your phone or on your laptop or anything, it's going to go across all platforms. So you'll be able to, I love that I can get on and create several designs on my laptop and then just pull them up on my phone and share them. That makes it a lot quicker, because sometimes you can't do as many options on your phone, on the phone app, as you can online. So we're just going to go through, and you guys unmute anytime, unmute yourself anytime you have a question, because otherwise I'm not going to know that you have a question. I don't see a thing like raise your hand kind of thing. So like on Zoom, I know there's a little, you can raise your hand thing. So all I'm seeing right now is my screen. And I'm just going to take you through what happens when you start to create a design. So the first thing is if you already have some designs created, you can totally click on that design and you can work from that. I do that a lot because it already has my background, and that way I don't have to start completely over. But you can also go up to here where it just says create a design, of course, and start completely over, and it will let you choose. Canva has, you know, what you would like to do, social media, Facebook cover, and so on. Canva has really stepped up and created a lot of new things, and I know there is also the part that you can pay for. This is what you're going to see today is just the free part, so you can do any of this just from joining, just from getting a free account. So I'm going to just click on one of my designs. And again, anytime y'all have a question, just pop in and ask me. I love to do to start from one, because then I don't have to start all over. But let's say I did want to change something. So let's go through the bar over here on the left where it tells you everything what you can do. So you're going to start out where it says templates, and that's kind of your base. Anytime you click on design your own or on a design that you've already done, that's where you're going to land. So you're going to land on templates. You can totally scroll through and pick one of these. As you scroll through, notice that some will say free when you put the mouse on it. If it doesn't say free, of course, you know it's going to cost you. But there are a lot of great free ones, and just run your mouse across and let it, and you can see which ones are free and which ones are paid. So that would be how I would go and change my background. So let me go back one step real quick. Let me go back to home, back to the home page. Because after thinking about this just now, I think it would be much better if I completely started a new design. So let me completely start a design, and you can see step by step better that way. So if I'm going to start a new design, I'm just going to click on create a design, and then it's going to, I can scroll down and choose. There's so many great things you can choose from, and so that you can totally make ads that are going to fit, whether it be your Facebook banner, Etsy store, business card, logos, everything. We're going to go back up here to just a Facebook post, and then it's totally going to open to that new design. Should be blank, and it's very blank. It should not be that blank. There we go. I'm like, that's a little too blank. Okay, so now you've got your first one. Now, like we talked about, I can choose one of these designs if I like it, and that will give me this layout. So if I want to start and just do a color background, I wouldn't choose one of these. But if I want to work from this as my template, then that's a perfect one. So say I like this one that says spring splash sale, and I like it because it's kind of got our colors on the background, so we could totally work from that. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to start from completely Zippo so that you can create your own or because you can click on these and totally move stuff around, and I'll show you that here in a second. But let's go ahead and let's click on background. So we're just going to follow down the fourth one down to background, and then that's going to let us choose some colors, or there are, like, I love this one. I love this one that looks like wood. So we're going to use that for our background. And they already had some lettering on here. I'm going to move that over just for now so you can just see the background. Okay, so, and you can scroll through, choose what background you want. There's a lot of amazing, beautiful backgrounds to choose from. These are all relatively new. They didn't have these when I first started using them. I love this one with the wood too and the bricks. And so many of these are free. So there's a lot to choose from. So now we want to go back, and we're going to scroll along, and this time we're going to just click on photos. So you can search their photos. Now, a lot of their photos are going to be going to cost, but some will not. Like this one is a free one, of course. And so I can go along and see what I want to add, and then just click on it, and it's going to just appear. I love that. I love that I don't have to drag it or anything. It's just going to be there. So once it's there, now I can click on the dots and I can resize it. So if I'm going to resize it, I'm just going to drag it and resize it. And then I can also click on it again and just hold my mouse down, and I can move it where I want. And so that, let's put it right down there. So again, if we're going to resize it, we're just going to, you can see my arrow changes right here. I can resize it. I can also see how the arrow flips. I can also turn it. So we're just going to leave it, maybe resize it just a tiny bit smaller. And so you can do that with any picture that they have, okay? But if you want to add a picture of, let's say, the logo for Chalk Couture, then that's where you're going to do that here, where it says uploads. Or if you want to upload a picture of something that you've created. And there's my babies when we were in Hawaii. So that's where I've uploaded. And then if I'm going to create something, I can do that. So to upload, just click, if you're going to add a picture, just click on uploads. And then if you don't already have it on here, just click upload an image. And then it will let you go and find that image that you want. And it will, and you're just going to simply click on it, and it will upload. Let's upload Marilyn Monroe here. This was from and then I just click on it and click open. And then you should see the progress. Here you're going to see the progress that it's uploading. So now we have Marilyn. This was from a conference that I did in Palm Springs a few years ago. So again, you can size it, resize it. Okay, so I've decided I don't really like Marilyn there. So I gotta move my screen over here. So I'm gonna click on that. And then I'm going to go up on my far right corner where the trash can is, and I'm going to delete her because I don't really want Marilyn on there. So just click on that and you can delete it. And I'm having to move my GoToMeeting thing around a little bit. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we took Marilyn back off. So now I have uploaded the Chalk Couture Independent Designer. So I'm just going to click on that again. And again, we can resize it and put it where we want. Move it to wherever you want. And let's get rid of blueberries here as well, because we don't need that now. We just wanted to show you. Anytime you want to get rid of it, just click on it and then click on the trash over on the right. Okay, so now we have the start of our logo that we actually want. Let's go ahead and add this little picture to the bottom, kind of similar to what we did. Again, just click on your mouse, hold it down, and you can drag that around wherever you want. And you can size it from the side edge as well as from the corner. I was extend it from the corner, but this one I'm just going to pull from the side, and you can see how it's going to get bigger. So if it goes off of your edge of what you're creating, that's okay. It's only going to show the part that is on there though, just so you know that. So like part of this, I'm going to extend it. So you can see how part of that runs off, but it's only going to save the part that is on your, so see, all you're going to see is the part that's on there. Even if you can see how it extends. I'm pointing with my finger and you can't see me. I'm used to doing this up on a screen, so I'm like pointing at it going right here. So you can totally size, resize, put that where you want. Okay, and again, we just did that from uploads. So I had already uploaded that one. So you can save anything from your pictures. So if I've saved other work and I'm trying to create from that, and you can create like a background too. So you can upload your background. You can upload anything that you want. This cute baby boy would be cute. So, okay, so we have our logo and we have something below. So let's go back over on the left-hand side again and click on text. So on text, you can totally click on, if you want a layout to already be something that you don't have to create, you can totally scroll through, and this is the layout that you'll be working with. You can, of course, change all of the text, but it will stay this layout. So if I want to click on this save the date, that's the text that I'm going to use over here. Now I have those fonts and I have it in those positions. So if I move it up here and then to change the word save the date, I can double click and I can highlight it, or I can just do backspace. And then I can change design your life. You got to spell correctly. And then you can see that all I changed was the large font. Okay, so I want to click on the smaller areas. Those are separate components, so you'll have to click on those. You can click on those and remove them, just like we did with the trash, or you can double click on them, and then now I can write in there, and I can change that to my name if I want that in there. And then I can do the same thing on this font. I can click on it. This time I'm going to just click and backspace and put independent designer. You can also enlarge this because right now I cannot see this. I have no idea if I spelled that correctly. But down at the bottom where it says 46%, you can totally change this so this is all bigger so you can see it. So it would just enlarge. Right now I've got it to fit the screen, but you can have it to fill the screen, or you can change it how you want on there. So you don't have to like squint. So sometimes it's great to use their fonts over there. And sometimes those will cost. So it kind of depends on what you're wanting. So let me remove this one again. So just to show you different ones, again, you're just going to click on it if you don't want it there. So if I click on this one, since it has different, I can delete the element or I can delete the whole group. And that's the difference in that. So am I wanting just to delete the 1, 2, 8, 6, or am I wanting to delete that and where it says new documents? So I'm going to delete the whole group. And then I'm going to do that same thing on this one. I'm going to hit trash, and I'm going to delete the whole group. Because now we're going to go up here and I'm going to I'm going to click on text again, but this time we are going to add our own text. So you can add a heading, and this is where you can add and totally change. The other layouts were going to be those layouts, but this you can totally add and change anything. So here's where our text, and again, you can hold it down and move it up. Well, when it cooperates, you can hold it down and move it up. You should get the little arrows like that before you can move it. Okay, so let's move it up. So so right now the default is just this Abril fat face. That's what it's going to get. But I'm going to go ahead and type in here. Let me backspace that. And then I'm going to change the font. So now after I have typed in what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go up here and click on the little arrow, and it's going to pull up all the different fonts. Now as you scroll through here and find the ones that you want, there will be some that pop up and say Pro beside it. So that's like for the professional, the Pro account. So those will try to charge you, or they will want you to do the Pro account. So you'll want to pick something that is not in that account, unless that's what you want to do. There are tons and tons of ones. You can also search. So if I search in there, there was lemon something. I can't remember what that was. So let's see if it gives me anything. Well, if I spell lemon correctly, that helps as well. So I typed in lemon, so it's going to give me, I was looking for Lemon Tuesday. So if I click on that, again, I'm pointing to my laptop because I'm used to doing this at on a large screen. Okay, so now it changed my design to Lemon Tuesday, which I like that font. So you can totally use what font you want. I'm going to make it bigger on my screen, just again by pulling it, just like we did the pictures. And then when it makes the little 4 cross arrows, I can move it to where I want to move it, up and down. And while I'm doing this, you'll notice right now how it has the red lines. So it is showing you how it's centered. So if I wanted this centered completely in the middle, now I've got the middle line showing me that it's centered. But of course I don't, because it's going to overlap my chalk couture one. So I'm going to center it, I'm going to move it over. But it will pop up, and to do that again, I am waiting till the little 4 arrows come up, and then with the left click on my mouse, I'm holding that down, and then I'm moving it. So moving it with the left click on the mouse. So there's our font. And then if you want to add more, I can close that where I was searching, and all your stuff will show back up. And if I want to add more text, I'm just going to click text again. And this time I can add, a subheading, something that's not so big. And again, the default for the subheading is this one, and I have no idea how to pronounce that. Truckchi? I have no idea. I have no idea how they come up with those font names. They just keep life interesting. So let's type in a little bit. Again, you guys are seeing what an awful speller I am. And so again, same thing. If I don't like that font, I can click over here and totally change it. So that's what I usually do, is just change it. I'm going to go ahead and leave that one because I don't think that's bad. And then again, too, I can resize it. So as long as this is encircled in blue, that's what you're working on. That's the element that you're working on. So to resize it, I can stretch it, but I can also go up here right beside where it tells what font it is, and I can click the down arrow, and it will let me resize if I know about what size I want. And you can continue to click that until you get to the size that you want it to be. And so that's a little bit big, so I'm going to take it back down one because I don't want it to be as big as my Design Your Life. So Anytime it's in blue, that's the one you're working on. I'm going to move that down just a little bit. And okay, I'm going to slide that over because I want that chalk couture part to show. So again, I've just left clicked and waited for the 4 little arrows there and slid it over, and I'm going to slide it down. Okay, so if I wanted to add anything else to this, we already did the background, and I showed you where the choices were for that. There are elements. So the elements, it will show you what you recently used. So I've used these flowers. I like those a lot. You can scroll through and see what you want. Again, some are free, some are not. And you can search. So if I search Christmas, it's going to give, again, you can just, you know, slide the mouse over and it'll show which ones are free. And the same thing, I love these little lights. Same thing, just click on them and I can totally have a Christmas design. You can click on them again if you want another set, because you can add as many as you want, and you can resize them the same way. Slide them in, make them smaller. There's a little bit of screen lag on this. And so I just clicked again and added a second set of string of lights, and I'm going to make those a little smaller. Move them up here with the others. So you can get as artsy as you want. And so that is really kind of a lot of your basics. Play around with it, see what you think. See, this is bugging me because they're not connecting. I've got to make one or the other just a little bit bigger. Okay, the last thing I'll show you, since we have these two on top of each other, let me show you right quick how you can move those around. So if I have these two on top and I want them to go to the back so that my lettering will come forward, I can click on the one that's blue is the one I'm working on. Again, click on position, and then I want to send that to the back. Let's see. Oh, I think I clicked the wrong one. Yep, I clicked the wrong one. Let me do that one more time. I meant to send it to the back, and that should move it behind my lettering. So now my lettering is on top. So I click on this one too, it's blue again, click position, and then to the back. And now that design looks like it's behind and my lettering is on top again. So you can totally move it around, add stuff to it. It's really fun once you start playing around with it. You can really see there's so many options. And, you know, nothing is permanent until you get all finished. And then you can still click on it. Okay, so let's say we're finished with this design. Right here, where it says design your life, I can totally change that to whatever I want. And that's what it's going to save it as. So I can put sample, Canva, and sometimes I put the date. And then I want to just go over here to the arrow, and I'm going to push the arrow, and it will suggest that you download it in a PNG file, which is what's best for the web. But you can also change it if you want it to be a smaller file, to a JPEG or a PDF or whatever you want to change it to. Depends on what you're wanting to do with it. I always download mine as PNGs if I'm going to put that on the web. And so just click download, and it will do it all its thing, and it will download that to my laptop, and my laptop is scanning it. Okay, and so now you can see my file is down here. So then it's going to automatically save it to your download file is where it's going to put that. So once you have that, it is going to automatically save this for you. So you don't have to, as far as in your login, in your account, so you don't have to like save this in a particular place. If you lose it on your computer, totally just log back in and you can totally find it. So if I go back to my home screen, it should be there. It should save it as my design. Let's see if it did. Yep, there it is. So it saved it automatically for me. And if I want to work from that design again, like a while ago, I can totally do that. Or I can also click here and it will let me make a copy, download it, move it to trash. So any of those things. So what do you guys think? Is this doable?